Hello, 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 everyone. It is Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. Welcome to 31 Days of Halloween, or should I say, welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween. I'm going to turn you guys around and we're going to get started. So, I have one of these lanterns. Let me cut the tag off because it's going to get in my way. These were from the at-home store. They came in white and black. I got the white because I didn't know what I was going to do with them. And so here we are. The first thing I did was clean the glass with some regular rubbing alcohol from the drugstore. Get off the grime and the grease and the fingerprints and whatever. And then I have etched on, you can see it, the design with a silver Sharpie. Not a black one. You can use a black one. You can use whatever you want, or you can just do it freehand. But I've etched on the design in a silver Sharpie. This way the lines weren't too dark. And now we're going to get started painting. We could tape this off if we wanted to, but I'm just going to go for it. I need some blue paint. I have out some spiced pumpkin, some saffron yellow, black, white, a little bit of brown, and now I'm putting out ultra blue deep. I'll leave this here. You can find the supply list. If you're not on my email list, you should hop on. I'll put the link down below. This way you can get the supply list for all these projects that we are doing this week, or actually this month. So I'm just going to start in here with the blue. You can make your background funky. You can make it just okay, where all the brush strokes go the same way. You can spice it up a little bit, whatever you want to do. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white, add it in here. This way my paint is not so monotone. I might even add a little bit of black in there. And I'm just going around right now my design. We're going to work from the bottom up like I usually do. This means the bottom layer up, like making a pizza. This way, as you paint, I'm going to add a little bit of black to darken up the bottom a little bit. As you paint and you start painting in the details, you can fix certain areas if you didn't like how they came out. So as you do the background, then you add in your details like the pumpkin and the moon. I'll be able to clean up any lines that didn't necessarily flow the way I wanted them to. Now, painting on glass is different than painting on a hard surface like a canvas or wood. The paint is going to be a little translucent. You can't help that. Let me get you little guys on here a little bit more. You could wait until this is 100% dry, about maybe 6 hours or till the next day, and paint another coat on it, or get out your dryer or your heat gun. I'm not going to do that. I'm just picking up a little bit of white here. Want to add some more little texture to my background. Wipe off the black, go back into my blue. Now this is a spooky Halloween thing, so it's okay if our background is a little bit eerie, okay? If I keep painting over the wet paint, I am going to end up with lifting up the paint from the first layer. So that's why we want to wait for our first layer to dry completely before we add a second coat. But I'm not going to add a second coat. If you want to, you can. And I'm just using this little tiny, it's a liner brush. This is my favorite liner brush, but I don't have the control with that one that I need now for these little spots. So I'm going to come in here. The next thing I'm going to do is paint in my moon. And again, I'm working from the bottom up. I don't mind if I get a little blue in my moon. That's why I'm doing the moon next, because that'll just give me some nice shadowing. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fill it in right around my cat. If you didn't notice, that is, yes, a black cat. Black cat sitting on a pumpkin. Okay. Okay. So I have in my background, I have in the white for my moon. I'm going to fix my cat. I'm not going to worry about it because now when I add my cat to it, after I do my pumpkin, the cat is really what's going to stand out. And it's going to fix all those edges on the pumpkin or the cat that I didn't necessarily like to begin with. I'm looking for a different brush. I'm going to get this small brush right here. It's a small flat brush. I'm going to load it with some orange. I'm applying a little bit of pressure to my brush so I can get the paint up into the fibers. And now I'm going to start painting in my pumpkin. And I used a curved stroke, like a C and then a backward C when I paint my pumpkin. And I'm just going to add and layer in these curved strokes. They're following the shape of the pumpkin. And this side, the left side makes like a C, and then the right side makes like a backward C, or you can call them a pair of parentheses. And I'm going to pick up some yellow, and I'm going to add in some yellow to that, and just blend it in over my pumpkin. Okay. I'm going to wipe off my brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this brown on this same brush, and I'm going to add in my stem. I'm going to let that dry. While that dries, I'm going to go back to my smaller brush. I'm going to pick up my black. I'm going to start painting in my cat. So I'm going to start with the ears, bow out a little bit for his head, and then come down a little bit rounded again for the body. Close it up down here, and then fill him or her in. Okay. I'm going to make sure my ears are nice and pointy. Okay. Then I'm just going to take, I got to turn upside down for this. I'm going to take my liner brush. I'm going to come up and curl it in for the tail. Just like that. Easy peasy, right? Okay. I'm going to clean my brush. Now I want to add in some segments to my pumpkin. So I'm going to twirl my brush. And I'm just sketching in a few dark lines. In this case, I'm using brown to give my pumpkin segments a little bit shading. I'm going to come out here to the outside, put a little bit of shading to the outside. We just want our pumpkin to have a little bit more detail. Okay. I'm going to wash my brush. Go into my white and do the same thing. A little bit of highlight, not too much. I'm using a very light touch. I'm only using the very point of my brush. And I'm just going to give a little highlight up here on the stem too, and then a little highlight to our cat. My white is fairly dry, so I can go in and pick up a little bit more white and add a second coat. I'm just like layering it on. I'm not putting too much pressure. I don't want to lift up the first coat. But this way my moon will really pop. Careful around the black. And there we go. So, let me turn you guys around. And what do you think of that? Isn't that so cute? And you can put it on one side, you can put it on two sides, you can put a different design on each side. It's totally up to you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.